Ronaldo. Oh, genius! Absolute!
Cristiano Ronaldo, a phenomenon, a champion, a record breaker, a player whose name has become synonymous with greatness. For more than 2 decades, football fans around the world have witnessed something extraordinary. Not just goals, not just trophies, not just records, but a relentless pursuit of perfection. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't simply become one of football's greatest players. He forced the football world to redefine what greatness looks like. And perhaps the most fascinating part of his story isn't what he says about himself. It's what others say about him, the teammates who trained with him, the defenders who tried to stop him, the coaches who managed him, the legends who watched him dominate. Because when players are asked about Cristiano Ronaldo, their answers reveal a story that statistics alone can never tell. A story of obsession, dedication, sacrifice, and greatness, long before the Ballon d'Or trophies, long before the Champions League nights, long before the packed stadiums chanting his name. There was simply a young boy growing up on the island of Madeira. Nothing about his surroundings suggested he would become one of the most famous athletes in history. Yet even as a child, Ronaldo possessed something different, an unusual determination, a refusal to accept limits. While other kids played football for fun, Ronaldo played as though every match mattered. Every training session was an opportunity, every mistake was a lesson, every setback became motivation. People who knew him during those years often described the same thing. He hated losing. Not just important matches, everything. Training games, practice drills, friendly competitions, losing bothered him. Winning consumed him, and that mentality would eventually become one of the defining traits of his career. Because talent can open doors, but mentality determines how far you go. And Ronaldo's mentality was unlike anything football had ever seen. When Cristiano Ronaldo arrived at Manchester United, he was talented, but he was not yet the unstoppable force the world would later witness. He was skinny, raw, explosive, capable of moments of brilliance, yet still developing. Many young players arrive at elite clubs with talent. Most never fulfill their potential. Ronaldo was different. Former teammates often described their first impressions with amazement, not because of what he could do during matches, but because of what he did after training. While others went home, Ronaldo stayed. While others rested, Ronaldo worked. While others were satisfied, Ronaldo wanted more. Again and again, teammates have told stories about arriving early and finding Ronaldo already training, then leaving late and discovering he was still there. That work ethic shocked even elite professionals. Because these were not average players, these were some of the best footballers in the world. Yet Ronaldo's commitment stood above them all. Sir Alex Ferguson saw it immediately. The legendary manager understood he wasn't just coaching a talented player. He was coaching someone obsessed with becoming the best. And under Ferguson's guidance, Ronaldo transformed. The flashy teenager evolved into a complete footballer. Faster, stronger, smarter, more dangerous. The football world was beginning to witness something special. One of the most common themes that appears whenever teammates discuss Ronaldo is his work ethic. Again and again, across different clubs, across different generations, the stories remain remarkably similar. Rio Ferdinand has spoken about Ronaldo's relentless training habits. Patrice Evra has shared stories that sound almost unbelievable. Wayne Rooney has described the incredible standards Ronaldo set for himself. Former teammates often explain that Ronaldo trained as though someone was chasing him, as though every day he had something to prove. And perhaps he did, because greatness is rarely comfortable. Greatness demands sacrifice. While most players were satisfied with being elite, Ronaldo wanted more. He wanted records. He wanted trophies. He wanted immortality. And that pursuit inspired those around him. Even players who couldn't match his intensity often admired it, because they understood how rare it was. Millions dream of becoming footballers. Thousands become professionals. Only a handful possess the discipline required to become Cristiano Ronaldo. Ask defenders about Cristiano Ronaldo and a fascinating pattern emerges. Respect, not admiration. Respect. Because defenders understand exactly how dangerous he was. At Manchester United, he could beat players with speed. At Real Madrid, he could destroy teams with goals. Later in his career, he evolved again, becoming one of the most efficient finishers football had ever seen. Stopping Ronaldo wasn't simply difficult, it was exhausting. For 90 minutes, defenders had to remain focused. One mistake, one lapse, one moment of hesitation, and the ball was in the back of the net. That constant threat created fear, not panic. Professional footballers don't panic, but they respect danger. And Ronaldo represented danger every second he was on the pitch. Many defenders have admitted they spent entire matches worrying about him, because unlike many forwards, Ronaldo didn't need multiple chances. Sometimes he needed only one, and that is what separated him from so many others. The ability to punish mistakes instantly. If Manchester United created Cristiano Ronaldo, Real Madrid elevated him into football immortality. This was where records shattered, where expectations disappeared, where greatness became routine. Season after season, Ronaldo produced numbers that seemed impossible. Goals arrived relentlessly. Champions League nights became his stage. Pressure became his fuel. While other players feared big moments, Ronaldo appeared to enjoy them. The bigger the occasion, the greater the challenge. The better he became, and football legends noticed. Former players, managers, pundits, even rivals, many began describing Ronaldo in terms usually reserved for history books, because what he was doing wasn't normal. It wasn't supposed to happen. Football had never seen numbers like this before. And yet Ronaldo kept producing them, again and again and again, until the extraordinary became expected. No discussion about Cristiano Ronaldo can ignore the debate that defined an era, Messi versus Ronaldo. For nearly 20 years, football belonged to two giants, two players who pushed each other beyond imagination, two players who transformed competition into art. And when players are asked about Ronaldo, many eventually discuss Messi as well, because separating them is almost impossible. Some prefer Messi's genius. Others prefer Ronaldo's mentality. Some admire creativity. Others admire determination. But regardless of preference, one fact remains undeniable. Both elevated football to unprecedented levels. Yet Ronaldo's supporters often point to one quality above all others: adaptation. He succeeded in England, Spain, Italy, international football, different teammates, different coaches, different systems, different challenges. And everywhere he went, he found success. That adaptability became one of the strongest arguments in his favor, because greatness is impressive, sustained greatness is legendary. Perhaps the most powerful stories about Ronaldo have nothing to do with goals, or trophies, or statistics. They focus on mentality, the mindset, the obsession, the refusal to accept limitations. Many players possess talent. Very few possess Ronaldo's mentality. Former teammates have described him as a machine, not because he lacks emotion, but because of his discipline. Every detail mattered: recovery, nutrition, training, sleep, preparation. Everything served one purpose: improvement, and that mentality allowed him to remain elite long after many expected decline. Year after year, critics predicted the end. Year after year, Ronaldo responded, with goals, with performances, with victories, because while talent eventually fades, mentality endures. And Ronaldo's mentality may be his greatest achievement of all. Over the years, countless football icons have praised Cristiano Ronaldo. Former Ballon d'Or winners, World Cup champions, legendary managers, elite defenders, players from different eras, different countries, different styles, yet their conclusions often sound remarkably similar. They speak about professionalism, dedication, consistency, leadership, winning. Because those qualities transcend generations. They are timeless, and Ronaldo embodies them all. Even players who competed against him often acknowledge his greatness because they witnessed it firsthand. They experienced the pressure, the goals, the moments, the impact. And they understood what the rest of the world was watching. A footballer unlike any other. Every generation produces stars. A few produce legends, and once in a while, football produces someone who changes the sport forever. Cristiano Ronaldo belongs in that category. Not because of one goal, not because of one trophy, not because of one season, but because of an entire career built on excellence. A career defined by ambition, discipline, sacrifice, and an unbreakable belief in himself. When players are asked about Cristiano Ronaldo, their answers reveal something extraordinary. Not admiration for talent alone, admiration for commitment, admiration for consistency, admiration for a player who refused to accept limits. The records will remain, the goals will be remembered, the trophies will fill museums. But perhaps Ronaldo's greatest legacy is inspiration, showing millions that talent matters, but hard work matters more. This is Cristiano Ronaldo, a champion, a leader, a football icon, and one of the greatest players the world has ever seen. Tell me in the comments, who was the greater player in your opinion, Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi? And which football legend should we cover next?